Dogma was one of the most loyal soldiers of the 501st Legion, being known amongst his ranks as someone who could always be trusted. After his loyalty was manipulated by fallen Jedi Master General Pong Krell during the Battle of Umbara, he was arrested and taken into custody for his actions. So what happened to Dogma after the Clone Wars Season 7 and Order 66? I'm going to break down some incredibly interesting theories about what may have happened to Dogma after the Battle of Umbara and the unfortunate reality of his actions. So before we get into it, remember to hit the subscribe button with notifications on for more awesome Star Wars lore content. Let me know down in the comments below what videos you would like to see next. After being called back to Coruscant by an emergency request from the Jedi Council and the Supreme Chancellor, General Anakin Skywalker was forced to leave the Battle of Umbara, placing his 501st Legion at the command of General Pong Krell. Pong Krell was the complete opposite of Anakin in his leadership style and command structure. Trooper Dogma was extremely obedient and willing to accept any order from his superiors without question. For this reason, he was as loyal to General Pong Krell as he was to Anakin once Krell took over the 501st on Umbara. After arriving at their intended checkpoint on Umbara, Rex prepared his men for an attack on a nearby airbase, which was intended to assist General Obi-Wan Kenobi's 212th on the other side of the capital city. Most of the 501st did not believe that this plan would be a success, and that General Krell was putting all of their lives in danger. Dogma, on the other hand, fully believed in the plan, believing it would be a success, showing his extreme loyalty to Krell. The plan did ultimately work, but only because Troopers 5s and Hardcase hijacked two strange Umbaran starfighters from the airbase, using them to destroy nearby targets. Because of this, Pong Krell ordered the airbase to be placed under his control and all activities in the area to be monitored. Later that night, 5s, Jesse and Hardcase snuck out of the base and took 3 of the forbidden Umbaran starfighters to destroy a support vessel in orbit of the planet, which was resupplying the Umbaran defenses. Because of Dogma's loyalty to Pong Krell, he went with Trooper Tup to report the 3 troopers' violation of the rules. Although Rex did stop Dogma from reporting the violation, General Krell ordered the troopers to be executed anyway. During the execution, Dogma was in charge of the firing squad, but was unable to carry out his order because 5 successfully gained the support of his brothers before they could pull the trigger. Because of this, Krell sent his men back into battle, but this time unknowingly against their own brothers. The 501st were forced to fire at their own brothers, killing many of them without even knowing. At this point, Rex was able to convince the rest of his men to arrest General Krell for treason, except Dogma, who still held loyalty for the general. Dogma refused to arrest his general, but was quickly tackled to the ground and arrested himself by Rex and his men. After this, General Krell revealed his betrayal and fall to the dark side to his men, completely shocking Dogma, who had fully trusted him even through his most disgusting actions. Rex then held his blaster pointed at Krell, ready to execute him, but before he could pull the trigger, Dogma took the shot, killing the general. Because Dogma technically did not have the authority to kill Pong Krell at this stage, he was arrested by the other clones and likely taken to a military prison on Coruscant, where he would be forced to face a military trial similar to the one Ahsoka and Barasofi faced. And this is the last time we see Dogma in the Clone Wars series. I really wish we got to see his fate in the Clone Wars Season 7. Now this is where things could get interesting. At this point, Palpatine likely would have pushed for a harsh punishment for Dogma in order to maintain his appearance as a Law and Order Chancellor who showed no fear and no weakness against traitors to the Republic. Because Dogma did commit mutiny against the 501st Legion, it is very possible that he would have faced the death penalty if convicted for his crimes. With officers like Tarkin in charge of military trials, it is very likely that Dogma would have faced similar punishment to what Ahsoka was facing after she was framed by Barasofi. Although Rex did support Dogma's action in killing Krell, he would ultimately not have any say in the punishment handed to him if he were convicted. Let me know down in the comments below if you think Dogma deserved the death penalty for his actions. It is also very possible that Rex and Anakin vouched for Dogma's loyalty and dedication to his brothers, leading to Tarkin not pursuing the death penalty against him. This would mean that after being convicted, Dogma would likely be sent to a military prison on Coruscant, possibly the same one that Barasofi was sent to after she was convicted at a military trial for the attack on the Jedi Temple. This would place Dogma in a prison cell during the time of Order 66, obviously making it impossible for him to have executed the order against his Jedi General. If Dogma was placed in a prison cell after his trial, It's extremely likely that Palpatine would have sent him back to Kamino to have scans performed on his inhibitor chip, just like Fives and Tup, to ensure that it did not malfunction when he killed Pong Krell. At this point, a few things could happen. The first is that Palpatine could release Dogma from his prison cell and reintegrate him into the Imperial Navy as a stormtrooper or training instructor, just like Commander Cody was in Legends. He might have even rejoined the 501st, but this time under the leadership of Darth Vader. The only reason this is unlikely is because we know that Palpatine began to develop a fear of clones after Order 66, because he believed that if they could destroy the Jedi Order, the same thing could potentially happen to him and his empire. Another possibility is that he was simply executed in his cell by the Coruscant Guard clones that were stationed at his prison. We know that Order 66 did include the execution of anyone that Darth Sidious and the Empire deemed a threat, from Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 12 and 11, where Rex ordered the execution of Maul on the orders of Darth Sidious. This would make sense, because despite his unwavering loyalty, Dogma was pushed far enough to execute his own general after being betrayed. Sidious and Vader may have executed him so that he would not be able to turn on them like he did on his Jedi. But let me know what you think happened to Dogma after the Clone Wars and Order 66. I think the most likely scenario is that he was given the death penalty for killing his general and executed shortly after. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like down below. You can also support me on Patreon if you want to help me to complete the Clone Wars by animating unfinished episodes that were never released. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.